Jim Carrey's transformation from a struggling comedian to a Hollywood star is legendary, but there is more to the story than just laughs. Reaching the height of his stardom, Carrey had a profound epiphany that transformed him into Hollywood's worst nightmare, a celebrity who exposes the emptiness of the industry with unvarnished honesty and rejects its illusions. In this video, we will go through 7 key points that reveal this remarkable transformation. Number 7. Early struggles and humble beginnings. Jim Carrey had severe adversity in his early years, which influenced his outlook on life and fed his unwavering drive. He was born in 1962 in Newmarket, Ontario, and grew up in a humble home where there was always a threat of financial instability. The family fell into financial difficulties when Jim was a little boy because his father, Percy Carrey, a musician who later became an accountant, lost his job. The Carreys temporarily lived in a van and moved from town to town as Percy looked for work. Jim was exposed to the harsh realities of poverty and uncertainty at a young age due to this itinerant and unpredictable lifestyle. Despite these difficulties, Carrey turned to comedy for comfort and escape, and he soon discovered that he had a talent for making others laugh. Despite his initial attempts being rejected and ridiculed, he started doing stand-up comedy as a teenager with the support of his mother, Kathleen. He was not discouraged by these early setbacks. Rather, they strengthened his work ethic and perseverance. Number 6. Meteoric rise to comedy superstardom. Carrey's transformation from an unsuccessful comic to a Hollywood star was marked by unwavering tenacity and a distinct comedic approach that enthralled viewers everywhere. He spent years performing in small clubs after relocating to Los Angeles in the early 1980s, honing his technique with a fierce physicality and flexible facial expressions that distinguished him from his contemporaries. When he was chosen for the revolutionary sketch comedy series In Living Color in 1990, it was his big break. The show became a worldwide phenomenon due to its varied ensemble and edgy, irreverent humor, and Carrey's absurd characters like Fire Marshal Bill were immediate favorites. A string of prominent parts in big-budget comedies that characterized the 1990s resulted from this exposure. Films such as Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber demonstrated Carrey's unabashed dedication to physical humor, improvisational prowess, and limitless energy. These films, which combined slapstick humor with a strange, surreal sensibility, were not only box office successes, but also contributed to the redefining of the comedy genre. As Hollywood's highest-paid and most bankable celebrity, Carrey was able to seek $20 million compensation each picture, which was unusual for a comedic performer. Number 5. The search for depth and critical acclaim. Despite his huge success as a comedian, Carrey felt that the typecasting in the business and the shallowness of his parts were limiting him more and more. He looked for tasks that would push him both intellectually and emotionally because he longed to be recognized as a legitimate artist. This ambition prompted a conscious shift towards dramatic and unusual parts that highlighted his nuance and adaptability. His 1998 appearance on The Truman Show marked a sea change. Carrey gave a complex representation of existential uncertainty, fragility, and hope in his role as Truman Burbank, a man who is unaware that he is living inside a fake reality TV program. Carrey won a Golden Globe and received considerable praise for the picture, which was a commercial and critical triumph. In films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a surreal examination of memory and heartache that is now one of his most praised roles, and Man on the Moon, in which he played the mysterious and eccentric comic Andy Kaufman, he continued to explore difficult characters. Number 4. Disillusionment with Hollywood's illusions. Carrey's feeling of estrangement from the Hollywood system grew along with his fame and wealth. He started to believe that the entertainment sector was a phony machine that was motivated by superficiality, avarice, and an unrelenting need for novelty at the price of true creativity and interpersonal relationships. Carrey has been open about feeling caught in a vicious cycle of fame addiction, where the euphoric highs of receiving praise from the public were invariably followed by depressing lows of emptiness and self-doubt. He compared the experience to living in a golden cage, where a deep inner emptiness was concealed by the outward manifestations of wealth, such as fancy vehicles, homes, and red carpet events. There was little space for vulnerability or genuineness due to the pressure to create a public image that was consistently humorous, likable, and marketable. Carrey's awakening was realizing that the praise and recognition were ephemeral and frequently unrelated to who he really was. Number 3. Mental health battles and personal awakening. Carrey had serious mental health issues, including as anxiety and depression, behind the scenes of his public fame. He has been candid about these issues in interviews and public appearances. He was once given prescriptions for antidepressants like Prozac to treat his symptoms, but he ultimately decided to stop taking the drugs in favor of looking into other avenues for recovery. During this time, Carrey experienced a deep inner awakening as he looked within to address the underlying reasons of his emotional suffering. In an effort to comprehend the nature of consciousness and the self beyond social classifications and expectations, he embraced spirituality, meditation, and philosophical investigation. By sharing his struggles publicly, Carrey helped destigmatize mental illness and encouraged others to follow their own paths to healing, reinforcing the message that true strength resides in vulnerability and self-awareness. Carrey's journey towards mental wellness was not linear. It involved facing dark periods of despair and isolation, but ultimately led to a renewed sense of purpose and authenticity. Number 2. Using his platform to critique Hollywood. Carrey decided to use his platform to criticize the very system that had made him a star, rather than avoiding the spotlight or living up to Hollywood's expectations. He became a vocal opponent of the entertainment industry's fixation on appearance, consumerism, and flimsy success. Carrey made sharp and frequently philosophical criticisms of celebrity culture, the commercialization of art, and the discrepancy between public and private lives via speeches, interviews, and social media. He described Hollywood as a place where authenticity is frequently compromised for marketability and cautioned against the perils of losing oneself in the chase of fame and material prosperity. Carrey became a contentious figure in the industry because of his willingness to talk openly about these problems, since many others wanted to keep things as they were. His criticisms, however, struck a chord with viewers who were seeking a deeper purpose and growing more dubious of celebrity culture. Carrey established himself as Hollywood's worst nightmare by refusing to keep his conscience in check. Number 1. Reinvention as an artist and social commentator. Jim Carrey has seen a tremendous transformation in recent years, becoming a versatile artist and social critic in addition to his acting career. His love for painting has grown significantly, and he now produces daring, thought-provoking, and intensely personal paintings. Themes of identity, politics, spirituality, and social justice are frequently explored in his artwork, which reflects his changing perspective and dedication to the truth. Public displays of Carrey's paintings have provided insight into his inner life and a part of him that stands in stark contrast to his humorous persona. He has also selected acting roles that complement his philosophical and creative sensibilities, such as the darkly humorous and introspective TV show Joking, which criticizes the contemporary media's fixation with appearance and happiness. Through these initiatives, Carrey is pushing the boundaries of Hollywood conventions and igniting discussions about social values, mental health, and honesty. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.